Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video. Today we're going to be watching some Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, Episode 1. This is a very exciting day. Before I get started, though, I got two disclaimers that I need to make. First one is going to be the quickest one. If you're just here because you want to know about, like, updates on when other reaction series are going to be coming back, if you haven't already checked the pinned comment, it should all be there. I might forget. But the second disclaimer I need to make is that if you couldn't tell by the title and the thumbnail, I am in fact a manga reader. Since I started the manga back in, I want to say, early 2020, I have read through the manga 2.5 times about. So I do know a decent amount of the Thousand Year Blood War arc off the top of my head, and then, you know, the rest of it will be like, oh yeah, I remember that while I'm watching it. But that being said, before, during, and just after the reaction, no spoilers, basically. I'm realizing now that kind of implies I'm just not going to talk at all. That's not the plan anyway. But I'll keep a cap on all spoilers up until a planned spoiler discussion section at the very end, where I'll, at least in this episode, most likely just be talking about the opening, like analyzing everything, and then talking about things that I want to see in the future based on what I know. So that's mainly the bulk of what I need to talk about. You know, there's always going to be some risk watching reactions. Since I know things, it might slip, so you should just take that into account. But I mean, even non like manga reader reactions, you're risking spoilers if you go to look at the comments, because people are really brazen about that. People are really bold about that. But anyways, I'm talking too much. I just want to get into this episode because I'm one of those people that spends a lot of time sitting around thinking about things rather than actually doing them. So we're just gonna get started. I don't know what everybody else has in terms of their copy of the episode. I was having a pain in the ass trying to set this up earlier, so the timing might be off with the timer. Otherwise, if you don't want to go through that, there's always, in the links down in the description below, you can find the uncut reactions. So, without further ado, I'm going to get started. Okay. 3, 2, 1, play. All right. This is almost like I know it's weird for me to be saying this because I'm not really. I almost looked. My camera used to be over there. It's almost unreal to be here at this moment. Oh, okay. Already starting off a little bit differently. The hymn. It's so good to hear his voice finally. Oh, from the trailer. Okay. Okay. So now we're I do have my copy of, that's the wrong volume. Got my copy of volume 55. I've got the bookmark where I think the episode will end. Pretty much where we're starting. I can't tell if that's CG, the people in the background with their hands. If it is, it's really good. Yeah. I'm glad we're kind of getting straight into this. I might be eating my words later. But we're not spending a lot of time being like, hey, remember us? We're back now. You know what I mean? Just getting straight into it. Oh, that looks really nice. It looks like a straight up picture. Oh, hold on. What's this music? It's over. Oh. Okay, yep, okay. Nope, this is that's about right. I remember this. Oh? Okay, looks like we might be skipping over a little bit, but that's fine. Honestly, I can't remember what his name is. Oh, okay. I don't remember them bringing up Madarame. She's a Madarame in the manga. Ryunosuke. It's interesting that he's got Narancia's voice actor because, and that might be a spoiler, so I won't talk about it more. But he wasn't that important of a character. It would be interesting if they decide to give these two more screen time. I don't think it's that big of a spoiler to say that these characters don't end up mattering in the manga, at least. I feel like this is a new track, by the way. It definitely fits. Like, this song reminds me of of early Bleach songs when Ichigo's having antics with his dad. Very reminiscent. God, and the way he like kind of like blends into it, like the art styles for like the really realistic world and like the very anime styled character, that's really impressive. I like that. Like I think it has to do with the coloring and like the shading and the highlights. It looks so good. Oh my god. These backgrounds are nice. And this is where the hollows come in. I remember them being CG in the trailers. I think they look good. Oh. Oh. Most of the time when there's like a monster roar in manga when I'm reading them nowadays, I just think of the hollow roar. It's that good. Oh, this music. This is like a remix of the song they used in one of the trailers. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's done. Yeah. The interesting thing about this character. Oh my god. Bleach not shying away from showing excessive blood again. I appreciate it. Where is he? Where's Masakazu Morita? I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Okay, Uryu. Chad. Alright. The squad. Oh, that effect looks really nice. Ugh. The sound of the blood. Oh, and that coloring of Orihime's oh, thick as ever. Of her warm light and like, oh yes, from the first teaser trailer. Oh my god, this is exactly what I wanted. I'll have to talk about that later. The light stuff. Too busy right now. Center of attraction. Oh my god. Oh, they're so creepy. Ugh. Oh. Oh my god, we're gonna get the shot from the end of the teaser, but this time he'll actually say, Getsuga Tensha. Alright. I'll have to flip through the my manga when I get back, just to see if they. Oh, okay. If they added any kind of extra fights here at the beginning, because I don't remember this kind of flexing. Hollow meatball. Oh yeah, bring that back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's new. Yes, Torasado. The Chad, the OG Chad. Okay, this, yeah. Pretty sure this is new, which is I think this is a good way of reintroducing us in a way that doesn't feel like forced, you know? Just like a short like reintroduction of the powers that it's better than like typical episode recaps, you know what I mean? Oh, come on. My boy. Oh! From one of the other trailers. The lightning on him reminded me of Attack on Titan. Oh, the effects are so cool. That kind of reminded me of Hellverse. Oh my god, pitch black. I love. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna go back and watch that scene in a little bit, like 8:30. The Bankai. That looks so nice. Hold on. You're kidding. We're already almost 10 minutes in. That's not fair. Yeah. Episode 1, the Blood Warfare. Okay. I'm glad that they might be keeping the unique title cards. That was one of the best parts of the OG anime. Interesting. I think there might be a slight difference now. Oh, they changed his bed. They changed Ichigo's bed sheets. What's up with that? But of course, the bread girl is here. Bread girl, my beloved. Oh, I miss their banter. I wonder. That's something I'll talk about later. I won't. Yeah, I can't elaborate it on right now. But okay. Okay. I thought they had changed things, and that was Shino next to him. But that's fine. That's fine. You can hear the footsteps in the background. Oh god. I hope that doesn't happen too often. Like, I know it needs to be fast paced so we can. What's up? He had a good voice in the trailer. So I want to hear that again. When he said his Bankai was over. Get off my bed. Music's a bit much. I would have preferred if they kept that scene silent. Arime! She's still so adorable. Love her. Oh, hell nah. On his desk, Ichigo got the iPhone 5 or 6, whatever that is. He's not up to date. Not really. Oh. Okay, I like that sting. Oh, look at that. Look on the street. That's a fun little detail. Yeah, I want to hear more of this guy's voice. But, it looked a little, honestly. So, overall, this looks better, but the Retro Rhino, like, fan animation, the trailer for episode 2, the Quincy Cross looked better when it was revealed there. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember this. Oh, they're walking. I thought they were running in the manga. Come on, Ikaku. Love this guy. Love them both, really. Yeah. I remember not recognizing it when they explained this in the manga because it was brought up briefly. So I hope they put a little bit more emphasis on the explanation of this. I'll talk about that later, though. That's a spoiler. Although not that important, I guess. So not only are hollows disappearing, I keep looking over there. Not only are hollows disappearing, even members of the Rukong guy are disappearing. Oh wait, is this? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. I don't recognize that voice, but it's good. Oh, that reflection. Okay, so for the most part, pretty much everything's the same. There's some small differences here. Oh, that illustration of Ishida was really nice. The little dust particles. Oh, and this music is nice. Maybe they will in later tracks. Oh, he looks so good. But I want them to play more into like wartime music. Oh, there it is. Hey, and he doesn't have pupils. Oh, the effect on that is so nice. Oh, missing arm. The Vandenreich. Oh. That little effect was odd. But that looks good. I assume that was his flash step. Oh. Was that OST or is that that? Is that ability to would that be a spoiler to say that? Oh, this music. Okay, this looks nice. This looks nice. 3D environment, dynamic movements. Yeah. Reminds me of Dordoni. Use your bankai, niño. Oh, the effects look so good. Oh. Okay. See, so now that I can see firsthand, they really won't be censoring this part. You know, that reminds me of something from oh, that effect looks good too. Yeah, they actually show Sasakibe's eyes in this as blank. Ooh, I love that voice. Okay, quicker transition this time. Oh, oh, effects, just knocking it out of the park. Okay, when was that? 18 minutes in. They're not showing the translation. Oh, it's not that important, but I wanna go back so I can, because they have the trans. I remember there being the translation in here. Said show. Get fucked. All right. Eternally. Oh, gorgeous explosion. Okay, it reminds me of I should not clap in front of the microphone. Reminds me of Byakuya fight back in Soul Society. Okay, so that's the sound effect for that. And it looks really good too. Oh. It looks gorgeous. It's a new way of traveling between worlds, like Garganta for yeah. Are we gonna? Because we're getting pretty close to where I figured. Oh no, where are we at? 20 minutes? Oh. No. It's only... It can't be over yet, man. Oh, we saw this effect earlier in the episode. Ooh, fuck, and I thought this looked good in the manga. This music, I forget his name, but that's fine. Oh. This fucking guy. Oh, old man. Yuhabacha. That's probably gonna be the last part of this episode. Is the name drop. Ugh. So. I love his voice so much. His majestic mustache. Oh, that's the end? Okay, that ended way sooner than I thought it would. Oh, OP? I already heard the song. Wait, no, this isn't the OP. This is Rapport. Huh? What? I thought the OP was a different song. Oh, that looks so nice. Oh! Okay, I like this. Is this the ED? I don't mind it. Rapport is... No, the ED was a different song. On the poster, it said something else. Whatever. Ugh. All the memories. Reminds me of one of the EDs. I can't remember what it was. The song was Haruka Kanata by Unlimitus, or Unlimits, or whatever. I love it. Gote 13. But yeah, this is the song Rapport, and they used it to advertise the exhibition. Oh. So I guess this is just like a special end credits for the first episode. I can appreciate that. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. And if, by the way, if you haven't watched the music video, the official music video for Rapport by Tatsuya Kitani, same band that's doing the actual OP, then you should definitely check it out. Because it's a good OP, or music video. It's not this. Masakazu Morita. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is much longer than I thought it was going to be. Much longer than traditional credits. Maybe that's why it ended sooner than I thought. I might as well use this opportunity to flip through. Actually, no, I'm an idiot. Where did it end? It ended... It ended... I predicted 4 chapters. It ended with adapting 5 chapters. So, I'm an idiot. But, they did cut out small things here and there. Oh, okay, flipping through. Yeah, that's something I'll have to talk about in the... It'll be interesting to see the actual OP. Because I said that was going to be most of the spoiler discussion, is analyzing the OP. But there hasn't been one yet. And this isn't even the song that they're going to use. The song is Scar by Tatsuya Kitani. But so that's probably going to be next episode. OP and ED. I'm ready for the OP to have a ton of spoilers, by the way. Oh, Fullbring, underappreciated arc. Love it. I love that arc so much. Oh, God, that's like such a good 3D model. Oh, is that referencing something later, a little bit later in the arc? Might be. Oh, and then the last episode. Okay, what do we got? Is this next time? Jikai? Oh! That's the poem. That's so cool. Foundation stones. Oh, a little illustration. Okay. I like it. I like it. I really do. All right, now that's the end of the episode. All right. Nope. Ooh, okay. That wasn't too bad. And when I say that wasn't too bad, why did I move the microphone back? When I say that wasn't too bad, I don't mean the episode. That was fantastic. I always get nervous when I go back to do these again after a long period of time, because it's literally been 2 months since the last time I made one of these reaction videos, but whatever. Now, we're in the spoiler-free discussion, so I'm going to go through here. And basically, I'm just going to keep it to things that are different and that won't affect things later on, I assume. And then anything after that will probably be, you know, like spoiler discussion. So first things first, this won't be like a comprehensive guide, but the first thing that interests me is the fact that they basically, to be fair, they've already been spoiling that the Quincy's are going to be the main villains of this arc in the trailers, which is like, on one hand, I guess, it's one way to get people who are interested but weren't going to watch it as it comes out because of whatever reason they have for not wanting to check out the new season of Bleach. Is be like, oh, look, Quincy's are the bad guys this time. We should check it out because that's interesting. But I am ever so slightly disappointed in that, because even though I knew that going into it, like the scene where they found out, it was like who Eburn was, with the confusion of him having the hollow mask on, but having like Quincy garments. You know, I think it could have added a little bit, but I understand marketing. I think the fact that it was getting another season at all is already enough to sell people on it. But anyways, yeah. So for those of you wondering, the manga starts literally with the discussion about like, oh, the hollows are disappearing. You know, come on, yeah, with Mayuri and everything. Okay, so that's another thing. Before I go on, they included it in one of the trailers. At the end, I believe it was the poem of Ichigo, and was it the? I can't remember which volume it was, but basically, if you're not aware, the manga at the start of every volume, Kubo writes a poem for the character on the cover. So it's really cool that they found a way to actually implement that. Personally, my favorite, it either has to be Ichigo's poem at the like volume 49, I think, at the start of the Fullbring arc, or the one at volume 48. No, 47. I think it's 47, the one with Genichimaru. But it's cool that, again, it's cool that they're including these in the actual anime at the very end. Most people are probably going to end up missing it. And even me, who've seen them all, I don't remember all of them, and I haven't done like a deep analysis or anything. That's something I have to watch like DBZ Imran for. He does great videos like that. I lost my train of thought. What were we doing? Oh yeah, it's manga. Other changes. Other than that, I feel like it was pretty similar. There's definitely, so they did cut some stuff out. Honestly, I'm fine with it. Unless, I might eat my words later on. But unless they decide to make Ryonosuke, Yuki, and Shino Madarame important later on, they basically skipped, let's see, they skipped like 2, maybe 3 pages worth of content early on. That was just introducing Ryonosuke, Yuki, and Shino Madarame, which is another thing, actually. I don't remember them mentioning that her last name was Madarame. I believe she's like a cousin to Ikaku. I didn't realize that until I saw the character list on the Can't Fear Your Own World novel, the first one. So, anyways, looking at that, that's something they skipped over. I'm fine with that, unless they decide to bring them back for whatever reason, you know. And the thing about Shino, by the way, some more perceptive than I, could have probably guessed without having the name spelled out that she might be related to Ikaku because she has like the big forehead. It's not as accentuated. It was slightly bigger in the manga, her forehead, that is, and they kind of put emphasis on it in one of the panels. When they were the two of them were having an argument. Let's see what else we got. Just some minor differences, just showing their encounter with the Hollows in a different way. Okay, here we go. The fight where Ichigo and Ko step in. Here's something else they skipped, which is honestly, again, one of those things that it's like, oh, okay. Because I don't remember this coming back up again, so I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's fine. Beginning of chapter 481, which, by the way, they did rearrange some things, it looks like, because in 480, chapter 480, the start of the war arc, they show Ichigo stepping in, killing one of the Hollows, saying his name, and then end chapter. They do show a silhouette of Ibern's face. Then they cut to 481, which shows Lisa and this is so scuffed, and Hiyori. That's something I want to talk about. This one right here, this page right here, that's also kind of important to what I'm talking about. That in the back of the volume, showing Ryonosuke and Ichigo kind of hanging out together, implying that there was some kind of plan from the future. Which makes me again think that he might step in again at some point, because I'm pretty sure after these like early chapters he just disappears off the face of the planet basically. But I don't think that the omission of that one page of Hiyori and Lisa noticing a tear really matters, because it doesn't really change things. And once again, I'm interested to see if Mr. Kubo is going to be like, all right, it's time to give Ryonosuke, Yuki, and Shino Madarame some more screen time, because I kind of implied they might be important in the future and did nothing with them. That's like one of my only complaints with Bleach, by the way. It's like there's so many characters that are interesting and you just like forget about them. So then after this, it skips from the initial stepping in to help Ryonosuke and Shino to them hanging out in Ichigo's room. Okay, then it flashes back to them fighting. So I think they added to the fight scene, which is good. I hope they do more of that. That was one of my complaints of this arc specifically. Some of the fights needed to be longer. Right, because they show Ishida using Leaks Reagan, even though he didn't say it by name. They had the short argument. Had the group shot. The group shot looks fucking amazing. The group shot looked good in the anime too, but I'm partial to Kubo's art style, so I really like this. I'm new to using this webcam, so it looks really bad. But and then and then it just skips back to because that was the end of the flashback of what happened during the fight. Shino comes in. Yep, and then it skips over. Okay, so I was right. In the anime, they were just walking to. They were just walking to the town, or the village in the Rukong district, to see what happened. They slightly changed it in the manga. Here at the top, they were running. A small difference. Who cares? Ibern shows up. Get off my bed. Da, da, da. Okay, so they also removed a short panel here at the bottom. I'm not gonna move the thing over to the camera for that. Of Yuzu and Karin hearing Ichigo kick a guy out the window. Okay, that might be also an interesting, like, not interesting, but like an omission worth noting at least. So they removed that reaction from those two. Did they remove a line from Chad? Okay, they did. They removed a line from Chad and Uryu. Yeah, okay. So here at the very bottom of the page, right here, there was a joke where Ichigo's like, I'll go take care of him, and they're like, all right, we'll help you as soon as we finish eating. And then I think there's a later line after that they cut out. It might have been after the fight, or something like that. I need to check now. Because this is a little bit, where Ishido's basically like, it's no problem. I never had intention of helping him anyway. But that's a little bit past where the episode stops, so I won't, go into it. Everything's pretty much the same here. That's something, alright, I kind of want to look that up now, just so I can, like, do a short comparison. Not to say the anime version is bad. The anime looks fantastic, but there was a shot in the trailer, before he stopped, where Retro Rhino, who was doing a fan animation for 1,000 Year Blood War arc. Let's see. And I thought the way he portrayed, like, the Quincy cross coming out of his sleeve was a lot cooler in that. So I'm gonna look that up now. Episode 2 trailer 3 years ago. Wow.
Wrong car.
Okay, yeah. So here, let me real quick put that up on the screen.
Wrong car.
It's just this. It looks really nice, not compared to where is it in the anime? It was a lot less. It was a lot more subdued in the anime. He lifted up his arm. Yeah, so I thought it looked. I just thought it looked cooler in the in both the manga and the fan animation. It's a little thing. Let's see. Pretty much everything looks the same. Okay, so you know what? I take it back. They didn't change it from Ikaku and Yumichika running to them walking. They just skipped that part entirely, which is kind of fine, because all that really happened in that scene was them just like, oh, we're going there to confirm, people going missing there. That's why I'm running type thing. And they just kind of work it in that way, so it's fine. This wasn't working with Hollow. Yep, speculating on what exactly happened. Now this was an interesting addition, which I actually liked. They actually showed a flash of light from Sasakibei's, I believe his Bankai, which, well, we're never going to see that now, are we? Because he's fucking dead. Or maybe he's not. Maybe they changed that. That's another thing. I wonder if they're gonna change that in the anime, but that's massive spoilers. But they didn't have that in the anime. I mean the manga, so they skipped over that. Declare war, pretty much the same. Here's the that one color page on the back again. Interesting that Kubo made these chapter title pages or whatever only for nothing to have with them. Okay. More pretty much the same. The fight is, of course, elaborated on, looks different. This face, definitely, I feel like, looked better in the anime. Like, they put a lot of detail in the anime, and that's something I really appreciate about it so far, is that they're preserving the detail while still, like, working around the limits of animation, because that's something a lot of people probably don't realize, is that simplified designs means more fluid animation, but more complicated and more, like, interesting designs means less fluid animation because it's harder to animate. And it might be part of like a technology thing, but I'm going to attribute it to like good pre-production where they can plan things out a lot better. So they can figure out how things want to look, because that was like a year or so of pre-production. So that's like really good for the anime. So that's why I have, especially after this episode, like really high hopes that this series is going to look good. Going forward, and I can think of a lot of instances where I'm hoping that they hit it out the park, from what I remember from the manga. Now that's also something interesting I gotta look back on. Okay, so they have Ibern attempting to steal Ichigo's Bankai before they have Sasakibe impaled, and then having him like explain what's going on. That's another thing, by the way. I should go back. I'm so glad that there's like great confirmation that this anime will not be censored. the decapitated Soul Reaper, Sasakibe missing an arm. It's good stuff. That's just like a small change. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, the face reminded me of something from Akame ga Kill, or even like one specific instance I can think of off the top of my head from Fire Force, the manga, that is. Because I don't remember the anime having that scene like hit it. You know what? I think it did when Joker and Shinra first fought each other during the training or whatever. This was like crazy when I first read the manga. They did it so well in the anime. That's one of the greatest parts. I will never shut up about that. Is the special effects are gorgeous. Now the German chant from Ibern, and it wasn't translated in the subtitles for this episode. It's fine. I don't think it really matters, but just for your consideration, I will read what the English translation of that is in the manga in the official English release. It seems in line with the incantations for Kido and that sort of thing, where it's just kind of like, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but sea to cloud, cloud to rain, rain to fog, that with shape to that which is unseen. After our jubilation, the chalice will be turned face down. So once again, it doesn't really mean much, but it's just something like that's kind of cool to know. It's because I'm surely a lot of people who watch it, it's like, holy shit, German? Because if you didn't realize it, that was like a big inspiration for the Quincy's as a group, is Germany, which I fucking love, by the way. I think they're wrong for what happened, in the old World War II, but they were kind of, I should stop talking. They're kind of dripped out. And that might just be a Bleach thing as well. Everyone's got drip in this series. Let's see. That's another thing. So in the manga, I assume it was a flash step, but here, chapter, 484, you've got this panel right here to imply Genri Yusai Yamamoto's flash step. In the anime, it was very different looking. For some reason, I'm not sure why, this version of it, also, I did really love that effect of the reflection, but in this one, I'll real quick throw it up on screen. Let's see. It's not as like punchy and like quick as it was in the OG anime. You know what I mean? Where it's just like this snap, they're gone. There's a little bit of a particle effect where they were standing, and then it had this like really good sound effect. So that was kind of what was implied here in the manga. That shot where it like showed him like slowly moving forward with an after effect, odd choice, It makes it seem like it's a bit slower than it actually was. you know, and it reminded me of cyberpunk Hedgerunners when David uses the Sandevistan. Odd choice, but doesn't really do anything. Stop right there. I love the effect that they use. Obviously, they didn't show the bone, I don't think. You can very briefly like see a tiny little bone on Sasakibe's missing arm. That's another thing. In the OG anime, they gave Sasakibe eyes. In the anime, this new anime, they're keeping more in line in the manga, where it's just there's nothing there. There's no pupils or iris or anything. What else? What else? I was just about to say something, wasn't I? I've lost it. Oh yeah, the effect for them disappearing into the shadows. That's really cool. I like how they do it in this. It's knowing what I know, it's really cool to see it. I can't really talk about it more because that is definitely a big spoiler. Let's see. Yep, Ebern getting fucked. Shadow. You know what? You know what? I think they might have removed a line from Ebern. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, yeah, I liked it. I liked that too. That was a cool little moment. But did he say this? Okay. Yes, I just wasn't paying attention. I thought they did have the line where Ebern mentions the shadow only hides the chosen. Okay, that's fine. Yep. I like that, by the way that they edited it in the anime. Cut it. Unless they changed the line to be something else in the manga, he says "cut it out," and then it immediately cuts to Yeah, okay, enough. It's not on purpose, but it's kind of like a pun. Or at the bottom of the page in the official English translation, Yuhabak says "cut it out," and then it immediately you flip the page and it's he's suddenly missing his arm. Let's see. And the report for peace. It looks like, compared to the manga, the anime has buffed Yuhabak's mustache a little bit here. Interesting, because that's for much debate. And I won't go into it in the spoiler-free section. The power of his mustache has been in debate for a long time. More in debate than things like, can Ichigo beat Goku? That's the more important discussion, I feel. Now, looking at the rest of the manga, I will not show. I assume the rest of the like episode 2 is going to be the rest of this volume, because it basically, this episode adapted half the volume. So it'll be interesting how they go forward, because I don't remember exactly what happens in the second half of the volume. I remember basic things about it. But man, it was a great episode. Really fantastic episode. Next time, I assume, I'll be checking out the ED and the OP, hopefully. It'll be probably chock full of spoilers, but I'm here for it. Speaking of spoilers, let's get into the spoiler discussion. Actually, wait, no. I'm mistaken. It's not time yet. I forgot I wrote down notes. So let me go through and make sure. So talked about that. I didn't talk about that. Talked about that. Okay, I got a couple more things that I wrote down I can talk about. It's not a huge deal, but I like. So it's pretty dark overall. The coloring and the shading, whatever. And it's kind of like almost gray. It's almost like depressing looking, and like it almost gives off an oppressive atmosphere. So when Orihime uses her powers, I like that because it gives off a better sense of like, holy fuck, that's loud. I don't know if you can hear that outside. But the warm orange glow. It's a really nice touch, you know. It helps emphasize like the warmth of Orihime, like as a person. She's like a person you can really rely on, you know. And then this shot specifically, it feels like in this shot with the group shot of them, there's more light coming from underneath the shot than usual, and I'll show you what I mean. You know, like that, like this. So it kind of like gives off like, oh, the heroes are here. You know what I mean? It's a cool effect. And then all their names where they show off their moves, that's all new. Let's see. And then That's right. I wanted to rewatch the Bankai. That's right. The lightning reminds me of Attack on Titan. Looks good. That CGI hollow there looked a little bit rough. And then just like the color usage, it kind of reminds me of Hellverse. And then I really like the color purple. So it was a little disappointing we're not getting purple Getsuga Tensho, but honestly, the pitch black is such a good choice as well, and I like the it reminds me of the way in some way like black holes are portrayed in like video games. It reminds me of like Outer Wilds is probably the best example I can think of off the top of my head. A black hole is just pitch black. You can't see it. The only way you can identify it's a black hole is because it warps the light around it. And that's kind of the vibe I get, is that you can really notice it because it has that outer glow around it. It's just such a cool effect. And I like, it looks so good. And then, and I like it's also kind of got like a fire effect. The explosion of white and it becoming like white and black, you know, it's such a good effect. It's so powerful, and like the way the camera shakes a little bit. Oh, special effects is so good. Yeah, calling it downright gorgeous would be doing a bit of a disservice. You know, it's fucking phenomenal. Oh, and those explosions look great too. This could end up being like rivaling, like, would you call this like, because from what I've heard, they're doing split cores where they'll do like 12 or so episodes and then stop for a while and then 12 or so more episodes until they reach the 52 episode limit. I think 52 episodes is what I heard. Might end up being different. I hope it's longer. I want more of that Bleach goodness. But if you could technically count this as long running, it would be it'd be a strong contender for best looking like long running series next to like Hunter x Hunter 2011, because that's one of those ones where it is consistently extremely high quality. And while I can't necessarily say Bleach will keep it up, I'm extremely hopeful that they'll keep this level of quality way up. And if so, then it will definitely rival Hunter x Hunter 2011 for like being the long-running series with consistently fantastic like production quality. Anyway, so that was everything I want to talk about in the non-spoiler section. Now it's time to talk a little bit about the in this spoiler section. Now I have to reopen the episode because I don't know why I closed it. But I think there's some very obvious things that I think a lot of us can agree on. We want to see more of. Now, it's just a taste, but they might be working on extending fights in this here anime adaptation. Since they included little things, it wasn't huge or crazy, anything like that. Giving, Chad, Ishida, and Orihime time to do a little bit of flexing here at this beginning. And it might purely just be like, because of what I was saying, just like a quick like, here's what they look like now, feel old yet type thing. But I sincerely hope they do expand on fights. The most notably the final fight. Even then, I'm like, even we're in the spoiler section, I'm a little bit hesitant to say, but the final fight. I hope they also include more characters in the final fight against Yuhabak, like Ryuken and Ishin. Those are two we're sorely missing. And honestly, they could even take it even further. But other fights that I kind of want expanded. Oh, that's actually tough because I'm actually blanking on a couple of the fights right now, and it's like, I kind of want them to expand on the Bazb and Ugram Hashwealth fight. I remember really liking that segment, but not being like totally satisfied, especially because like, maybe I'm just like, it's because I didn't. Maybe it's just because it wasn't presented in the right way to me, and I just didn't feel it as much as I probably should have. But that was towards the latter half when they started rushing, when things started getting rushed. Speaking of which, when they take down Gerard Valkyrie. Because I remember Kubo like kind of wrote himself into a corner with that fight, and so they just had fucking Yuhabak take the power back. The main fight that I want expanded is that one, you know. But speaking of expansions, that's the thing. It's 52 episodes, maybe, so that's enough to fit in a few extra things here and there. Uh, you know, so it's not totally enough to really expand on things in the way that I hope they can, because there's a lot that I hope they could do. But to be fair, it's probably too much. Like I wanted to see Tatsuki, Yuzu, and Karin. Those are like the three characters that I wanted to see more of throughout the entire series. It's possible, but unlikely we'll be able to get to see them. Other than that, you know, another thing that I was mentioning. So Sasakibe, that might have I mean, I don't think they're gonna do anything more with Sasakibe. He's not coming back, I don't think, because he didn't come back in the manga. So calling him dead in the first episode, that's not really a spoiler. It is what it is, you know. But it did bring up something. If you didn't catch it, all you fucking epic manga readers out there, I was kind of like, I wonder how they're gonna deal with Byakuya, because to my understanding, when that chapter came out, when Byakuya died, people were really mad about that, and that's what forced Kubo to change it. As far as I know, Kubo's never really been one to change things because that's how because he was like peer pressured into it. But to be fair, I don't only like the man himself would know that. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say personally where I stand on whether or not I want Byakuya to die, because there was a great moment where he was really starting to step into the big brother role, where he was like guiding Rukia on how to properly turn off her Bankai without destroying herself. But at the same time, like that felt like it was almost, when he died against Asnod, that was almost like what should have been the end of his arc, was where he set aside his pride to ask Ichigo for help, and then even though he's gone, Rukia can still feel like she's proven to be, worthy, so to speak. And that could have also been like a bonding moment with her and Renji. So, but at the same time, watching Byakuya, Toshiro, and Kenpachi fight Gerard all together was really cool. Plus, also Byakuya's outfit during that fight looks really good. So it's one of those things that I'm extremely conflicted about. I can't really say which would be better, like from a narrative standpoint, because we already have so much like death going on in this arc specifically. Like if you know, so it wouldn't be out of place, you know. And I think, you know what? It's been a little while, so this might be controversial. I didn't think all that impactful in Naruto. Fuck, man, I just realized I spoiled the shit out of a different series. Not everybody's seen that one. Spoilers. If I remember, I'll censor that, and then I'll say spoilers for Naruto. And maybe I'll put like a timestamp up. But Byakuya's death was would have been so much more impactful than I feel like Neji's death. You know what I mean? So maybe that's just my bias, because I overall love Bleach way more than I love Naruto. But I mean, a late stage killing off a character that used to be an enemy but now is a friend type deal. I feel like Bleach did that better, even though they didn't actually kill him. God, what else? What else I don't want to talk about? So next episode, and I will flip through this because we're in the spoil section now. The what I assume will be the next episode, which is I assume will end at the end of this volume, which is the one where Mayuri confronts Yamamoto. It's like, oh, because we do know who this is. It's the Quincy we didn't manage to kill. So seeing as it's only going to be 52 episodes, we can assume there isn't going to be much additional content where we get to see what happened during the original war between Quincy's and Soul Reapers, which is a little bit unfortunate. I was hoping for it, but it is what it is. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll cut out some other things that are unnecessary. I don't know. But next episode, we're just gonna get Hueco Mundo stuff. Yeah. Looks about right. So it looks like it's mainly going to be stuff regarding Hueco Mundo. Kulge Opie. I really loved his character. His voice in the trailer sounds really good. When I was reading the manga, I just pictured his voice as Edward Richtofen from Call of Duty Zombies. He was a really entertaining character. It's going to be cool to see him again. Let me find again where Mayuri, it's explained that Mayuri was, he was killing 28,000 residents of Rukongai. It was just one page. I felt like I remember kind of not fully internalizing that piece of information when I first read it. So I really want that scene to be like emphasized really hard in the anime, because that's a crazy thing to think about. Because so many hollows were being completely annihilated by the Quincy's, Mayuri decided, I'll just completely annihilate some of the souls here that are already in the Soul Society to balance things out. Like, that's such a crazy thing to think about that I'm surprised that I didn't really totally internalize that in my first read through. But it's so in line with Mayuri as like a character, but it's so fucked up. Yeah. I wonder how much they're actually gonna cut from like small interactions with at the beginning of next episode with Rinosuke, Shino, and the crew, because they have a short interactions where they have the joke that I was talking about, I think, in the spoiler-free discussion, where Ishida's like, well, I wasn't going to help him anyway, even after I finished eating. So really, they could skip all that. Ichigo just comes back. Maybe they have some banter between Ichigo and Ishida where he's like, I wasn't going to help you anyway. But then they get the phone call, skip over the joke about, Ryonosuke's phone, ringtone is Shino singing or humming or whatever. And then skipping to the funeral. The thing that I'm going to be interested in is what they're going to do in regards to the explanation of why Orihime didn't bring Sasakibe back. Because that's one of those things I had to look up online, get some people online to help explain that to me. So I wonder just like how they're going to do that in regards to this version of the anime. They probably just will go with the manga version, though, where they just kind of don't mention that, which is fine. It didn't really bother me that much. Speaking of things I want to see in the future, now that I've seen it again, here's hoping Harry Bell does something else during the this arc, because she kind of shown being the prisoner of Yuhabak, which kind of establishes better the threat that he poses, that he took down the queen of Hueco Mundo. And as far as I know, well, I know from the manga she basically does not show up ever again. But then in the light novel, Can't Fear Your Own World, where they also, in the manga by the way, didn't explain exactly what happened to Yoruichi and Urahara. Headcanon, they got out of it alive and they're now happily married. But they did mention that Grimjow and Neliel rescued Harry Bell. And then I don't remember where if anything ever happens after that. But it would be cool to see Harry Bell again fighting in some way, because she kind of doesn't get the respect she deserves. She was number 3. She gave Toshiro a run for his money, and she became the queen of Hueco Mundo. But like even in the Uranka arc, she got fucked up by Aizen, with no effort, and then now she shows up again, and then that's kind of it. I hope she gets to get more screen time. It would be really cool. Maybe you get like. Because their powers would be so interesting to watch together, because they're kind of compatible in that way, it would be nice to watch Haribel and Toshido fight together, you know? Rangiku is another person I want to see get more screen time. And you know what? Speaking of Haribel, going back to that, so the next episode will likely feature, it will feature Quilge Opie, and in the chapter, he ends up fighting Haribel's three fracciones, Apache, Sun Sun, and Mila Rose. It would be cool to see that expanded. That and an actual seeing of the fight between Haribel and Yuhabak. Depending on how they start the episode, they might just start it with the funeral or whatever, and then Nell comes in to talk about what's happening in Hueco Mundo. So there really won't be time to show that. But at the very least, it would be interesting to see, because at that point that the Quincy's are already subjugating the Hollows and the Iran cars. It would be cool to see an extended fight with the Fracciones, the three Fracciones, the Tres Bisterias, or whatever they were called, I forget, going up against Quilge. But to be fair, that might end up spoiling a lot of it, because it really just showed that Quilge could beat their asses in his base form, and then once they used Ion, then he did some other shit. And then after that, so they begin the invasion of the Soul Society, the first invasion. What might be interesting, even though they'll probably just leave it as it is and be like a crazy reveal, like, whoa, it might be interesting to see exactly what the conversation between Yuhabak and Aizen was like. That might be cool. Oh man, okay, so speaking of the first invasion of the Soul Society, I'm really looking forward to Yamamoto versus Yuhabak. That fight with Yuhabak. Because the flames already look beautiful and the explosions already look beautiful in this episode, that's gonna be all that fight, because that's when Yamamoto's gotta bring out his fucking his Bankai. That's gonna be so sick. How did I forget? I want to see more Ikkaku. Yumichika too, but more so I want to see more of Ikkaku. Especially because they never delivered on that moment in the Ironccar arc where Tetsuzaimon Iba confronted Ikkaku after he lost to one of the Fracciones of Baragon. He was like, you need to stop with this pride. There are lives on the stake. There's lives at stake. The whole universe, as we know it, could be destroyed if we fail. Stop worrying about people seeing your Bankai and asking you to be captain. Just do it. That never went anywhere, because that was the last time we saw of Ikkaku in the Ironccar arc, I believe. And then he showed up in Fullbring arc, but then Shishigawara, he ended up not needing to do that because his Shishigawara was so lucky or whatever. But Ikkaku's just like, hey, fuck you, idiot. And that was that fight, which I appreciated. I like that. I like Ikkaku. But more Ikkaku. I need more Ikkaku in my life. I just need to hear him one more time fucking say Bankai, because he was the craziest Bankai scream of all of them. Oh, and speaking of Bankai, it's going to be really exciting to see... That's not when he uses Bankai, but it would be really exciting to see Kenpachi versus Gremmy. There's one shot specifically I can't wait for, and that is when Gremmy's got all the guns that show up behind him. But then the Bankai when he's fighting Gerard Valkyrie, that's going to be dope. But, fuck, man. What else? I hope they, what else I hope they expand on? Squad Zero. They need to expand on that. That's another universal complaint that I'm sure everybody had, is that there needed to be more of it. Because I'm pretty sure they were showing up and being a formidable foe against Yuhabak and his cronies that invaded the Ryokyu. However, it could have been better. Because they just skipped the part where they ended up getting defeated. That's something that desperately needs expansion. But specifically, I believe it was what was his name? I forget what his name is. Oh, the guy with the x-axis. Bleach. What was his name? Lilibaro. I was thinking it was Lilotto, but that's a different character. I want more of his fight. That fight went on for pretty long, but I feel like it could have been, and I can't explain how, but like in a way expanded on better, if that makes sense. It felt like, but I mean, it might just be more so because the relationship between Kyoraku and Nanao was always kind of interesting. uh, but that's where they really started expanding on it, was during that fight. I want them to do more of that because it's interesting, especially because Kyoraku has to go into more of a position of power because he's the new captain general. Ukitake needs more expansion for sure, and more expansion on the lore. That would be cool too. I need to go back and I need to finish reading the Can't Fear Your Own World novels, but the lore in regards to the Soul King's various parts, because I think based on the manga alone, we know that I believe Gerard Valkyrie was the heart. That might just be something from the novels that I read about online or something. Mimi Hagi was the left hand. Pernita, I believe, was the right hand. I might be getting those mixed up. But then after that, we never got the legs, did we? I can't remember. um, but like going into the lore, more of the lore of that would be so good, especially because in the very beginning of the Can't Fear Your Own World novel, the first volume, there was some interesting lore information where like about how cruel like the position of Soul King was, and like how it was implied that they were going to have Ichigo doing it. I hope they expand on that, because they did have a scene where Kyoraku was like, Ichigo might never come back, here's some passes to go visit him, just before the second invasion. So it implied that they were going to make Ichigo strong enough and then cut off his limbs and force him to be the new Soul King. That's fucked up. Like, we already see some of like the fucked up nature of the Soul Society through the Soul Society arc, but and then also again here where Mayuri is just like, you know what, just erase 28,000 souls, whatever. It is what it is, you know what I mean? But having a bit of lore surrounding that would not only be one of those things where it's like it could add to the motivation of Yuhabak, like as a character, where and it'll almost start to like expand on his philosophy of why he wants to destroy the Soul King and have all the worlds merge to get rid of the idea of fear and death and all that, because the only way to live like that is to basically sacrifice a person. And I'm reminded now, because I'm reading the Fire Force manga on my own, it kind of reminds me of that with the Amaterasu. But now here's the thing, there's also it also kind of makes the ending almost bittersweet in a way, because it isn't explained in the manga, but through the explanations in the Can't Fear Your Own World novels, Yuhabak ended up being forced into the Soul King position. So it's just like interesting to think about. And that's one of the main things. I know I've been saying that a lot, but that is one of the main things I hope gets expanded on in the anime. Because even if you go back to like, you know, the simpler times, as some would call it, of Bleach, you know, back in the Substitute Shinigami arc, Soul Society arc, even there were like underlying subtle things that were either just like subtle there or were foreshadowing to something and people just didn't see it. The Kubo doesn't get a lot of credit for that. He's a great writer, which is why I'm excited for the Breaths from the whatever Jaws of Hell arc. That will be interesting. Burn the Witch, need more of that. But it's that like intrigue, and even then, another thing being them monitoring Ichigo like that. It's just so many layers to it that I hope. I hope they do expand on things, you know. What else I want to talk about? I'm sure there's tons of things I'm missing, but for the time being, I think that's pretty much everything. So, shit. Yeah, if you watch all of this point, thank you. That's fucking crazy. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next week. I'm probably going to put this up on the 17th. Then the episode 2 reaction will be the 24th. But, I mean, shit. That's everything. So, peace. I'm bad at ending videos.